Or we straight, huh? Any chance of DXR implementation eventually? New RTX cards getting announced in a few minutes, and it would be great if all the extra horsepower could make lights feasible. It's kind of hard to say. I don't think so personally. We have talked about this in the past. We would rather, spend that performance on other things, to be honest. To be fully honest, we'd rather spend that on other things. Lights would be cool. But RTX cards, like it would suck if it's like, yeah, you can get lights, but they will only be supported on RTX cards. Like that's not how we want to do things. The same goes for ray tracing. Like we can't make the game so that like just a handful of people or like the people with certain hardware can play it. Like we would like to make the game as accessible to everyone as possible. Like those type of things are more like, optional things. Like if you have the car to drive it, then sure. I don't see how we could possibly implement that and have time for everything else. Because there's so much else we want to implement. But that's my guess. I've been thwarted before, but when we've talked about it, we've always been like, no, it's not happening. Dlss only, perhaps. Same thing. Like I don't know. When we've talked about it, we've always kind of like, I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. Like all the programmers when we talk about it, just because there's so much else work to do, and there are so many other areas we'd rather optimize and make performant rather than implement something that's extra performant. Maybe if Unreal Engine makes it really easy, well, that's the thing. It never is really easy. Like you can wish that it was. Like it never works out of the box, unfortunately. Those kind of stuff.